Welcome. It's our special Friday edition of Wake Up Nigeria, starting your day with every single bit of energy we can muster so that you have the best day possible. We appreciate you for joining us once again today. And well, hey, it took a while for us to get to Friday, but we made it, right? We struggled through it. We got there. And while we wait and look forward to sharing those great moments physically with each and every one of you once again, we're going to keep functioning virtually. Yes, every single moment of the show has been carefully planned to make sure that we give you all the information you need, all the important guests, the experts, the entertainment we can find. We always try and bring it to you virtually. For the next 2 hours and 45 minutes, we're going to be doing exactly that. And well, you know, it's always been challenging getting up this early in the morning to do this show, but it's that kind of positive energy that you give us that helps us get through it. So make sure you send in those comments as soon as you can. Use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. And of course, it's the first Friday of the month. You're allowed to kind of let your hair down as we make plans for the weekend. My name is Titilayo Onyinson. Why not strictly make sure that you, stay safe, keep your hands clean, keep your family members safe. All those health guidelines are still in place. Make sure your hands are clean. Carry your hand sanitizer with you. Mask up. All those rules still stand even as you go about your day and things might seem to feel a little more normal. Stream this show live if you need to move about, tvcentertainment.tv, and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect. As I mentioned earlier, our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC is really important if you're going to send in some comments on social media platforms. Darling Mary has always looked great in the morning, and I wonder how she does it. How does she just pop in and then just start glowing? And then you're like, Mary, no be Mary with this. How you doing?
Excuse me, are you trying to tell me that I don't glow later in the day?
Okay, so you know we're radio people from before. You know we don't really, glam up for radio. It's our voices that do the glam work.
Now. It's not radio visual.
Visual, I mean?
It's scary sometimes. Can't I just, wear my pullover and come to work, or even wear my PJ? It doesn't really apply anymore these days, sadly.
Well, there is something magical about TV, and well, hey, our app available for download. Make sure that magic comes to you from your mobile devices. You can get it on Android, you can get it on iOS. Any device helps you watch us from anywhere in the world. We have to set the mood. We have some words of motivation from Chude Jidonwo starting us off. We have Daily Vulnerables coming up very soon.
Career planning masterclass, and the theme was "This is not where I'm supposed to be in life." And I did that event because whenever I speak to a lot of younger people, especially, even older people.
We have a chef coming in as always, and well, hey, when Chef Belinda starts cooking, you know there's going to be a tasty dish at the end of that. And of course, I mentioned it earlier, social media is always a great place for you to be heard. We would love for you to head to our Twitter or Instagram or even Facebook. Use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC and keep us up to date with what you're up to. Now, it's hard to keep up with the recent happenings in the world of entertainment sometimes, but well, we're here to help. So stick around for our entertainment news roundup. And finally, we're going to be joined via Zoom by Ujam's Sibrel. Now, he's an actor, popular for his role in Loud Silence and Stolen Heart.
I thought I was the Romeo and she was...
Wow.
That got me. Like, what?
Mary,
well.
I have to say you're a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, really? Let me bask in this.
Yeah, really, it's great to see you. So yesterday was a solo show.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those shows where you know that, man, you're like, we're family. Where are my family members at? And so it feels really heartwarming.
You pulled it off. You pulled it off. So that's a good one anyway. That's a good one. Okay, so something really, I just want to touch on something that is happening right now. some bankers are not very happy with the lockdown being called off because of the security angle. And I'll tell you why. So it's not really made the news yet, but there was a major robbery yesterday in Kogi State.
Okay.
And a police officer was killed at a bank.
Okay.
And then the robbers went to a police station and shot about 8 police officers, including the DPO, including a young constable that just got out of, the academy just like last month or so. And so made sure all the prisoners in that particular station were, managed to escape. And so you just wonder, yes, there's the good part of free movement, free life, because there are, after all, so many good people in the world. But there's also the problem of, like, one of them was like, during the lockdown, this couldn't have happened because there wouldn't have been the possibility of them being able to move around that so easily as well.
There's so many things to really think about when it comes to, especially what you mentioned, bankers. We heard about some banks slashing salaries. We heard about some banks laying off staff. A lot of people have had to find alternative means to make money because of things like this. And obviously we're in unprecedented times.
Exactly.
I think there are a lot of people that are still in some kind of denial about it.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually in denial. So many people are like, it's not as bad as is being said, but you have absolutely no idea what people are going through. It's a jungle out there.
It is.
It is. So if you still have a job, especially a job that hasn't had your salary slashed, you're very fortunate. And that's the reality. That's the reality, unfortunately. But we just have to be realistic about it. So let's try as much as possible to live our lives right. And most importantly, let's just do what's right. That's what counts. Anyway, Titi, it's you to take the news now.
Yes, it is. Hoping everyone stays dedicated to their jobs and puts in all the effort they can to make it work. For residents of Lagos State, the long wait for places of worship to reopen may just be coming to an end. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has directed that mosques should open from 19th of June, while churches should open their doors 2 days after, on the 21st. One of the conditions is that the crowd should not be more than 40% of the capacity of the church. Correspondent Adedoja Salam Adini has more.
It is more than 10 weeks that religious houses were shut as a measure to break the chain of transmission of COVID-19 in Lagos State.
Good afternoon, Mr. Governor.
As Lagos reached its second phase of easing lockdown, Governor Sanwo-Olu says it is time for faithful to gather at their places of worship, but with moderation.
Precisely from the 19th of June for our Muslim worshippers, and from the 21st of June for our Christian worshippers, we will be allowing all of our religious bodies to open at a maximum of 40% of their capacity. But even if your 40% capacity is really so large, you cannot have beyond 500. Persons below the age of 15, because of how well they walk around and how they become difficult to hold down, that they should be excused from the places of worship. And citizens that are above the age of 65 should not be allowed into these places of worship.
The governor said schools remain closed.
We will continue to have online learning with our higher institutional learning, which are currently going on. Primary and secondary schools, we will be engaging with the Ministry of Education, with the Lagos State Safety Commission. In 2 weeks' time, we will be coming out with a specific pronouncement.
The holiday is also over for civil servants of level 13 and 14.
As regards the public service, we're asking all of our public officers on grade level 13 and 14 on the Unified Public Service to resume work from Monday, June 8th, 2020. We're still holding back on grade levels 1 to 12 till further notice.
Non-essential interstate travel is still prohibited. Meanwhile, gyms, nightclubs and social event centers remained closed for the next 2 weeks. This is to allow proper registration and modalities of their operation. For register to open, they can visit lasgsafetyreg.com. Adedoja Salam Adeniyi, TVC News, Lagos.
The Nasarawa state government has lifted its ban on commercial motorcycles and markets in the state. The government had placed a ban on the movement of commercial motorcycles and shut down all markets in the state as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. State Commissioner for Health, who disclosed this at the end of an expanded Executive Council meeting in Lafia, says motorcycles are only allowed to carry one passenger per trip. The government also gave a nod to religious organizations to resume activities at their places of worship. Religious organizations were also urged to ensure strict compliance with the guidelines of the federal government.
In the general note of the council organizations, they are about the lift of ban on the motorcycle preventive measures I have to observe, where you may have to carry one passenger with a compulsory face mask of a view that has come to be. We also resolved in the council that the adoption of the curfew from the national will take in queue from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. The border restrictions of entry from the state in all assemblies will also be maintained.
Number of persons arrested, 1,924. Number of persons charged to court, 1,879. Number of motorcycles impounded, 1,451. Number of vehicles impounded, 86. Numbers of tricycles impounded, 202.
Nigerians seeking working visa to Lebanon may have to wait for longer. This is because the Lebanese ambassador to Nigeria, Hussam Diab, says the embassy has suspended issuing working visas to Nigerians seeking work in Lebanon, particularly for domestic workers. The decision is coming at a time some Nigerians working in Lebanon have complained of maltreatment. The ambassador told the visiting chairman of Nigerians in diaspora, Commissioner Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, in his Abuja office, that the mission suspended the issuance from May 1st.
One of the issues that we have done is that to stop all these helpers from getting to Lebanon without and being abused by their agencies or by the employers. We stopped all the work visas for Nigerian helpers. Now what we need to do is the second step is to get an agreement with the Ministry of Labor, Nigerian Ministry of Labor.
I'm also glad about a major decision taken by Lebanon, which is as well as stop visas for workers. Because until you properly have agencies that will be documented with the Ministry of Labor, so that if you're going to work, you know you're going to work properly. So we're talking about managed migration. If you're going to work, you're going to work there properly, legally.
And that's it on the news update for this hour. I'll be taking a quick break now and return with sports. Okay, so it's about time for me to take a look at the headlines in the dailies. And at this point, I'm going to start with the Guardian newspaper. And the Guardian has this headline: unusual worship in Lagos State as mosques, churches reopen June 19th. The government restricts attendance to 500, exempts persons below 15 and above 65. Abuja unveils strict guidelines as Osun approves partial reopening. PTF warns against non-compliance with COVID-19 protocols. Just under the masthead there, it says federal government to stimulate economy with $10 billion agric fund. Experts accuse WHO of encouraging smoking to waste more lives. DPO, 7 officers killed in Kogi State bank robbery. Reps declare emergency on rape, violence against women, others. And just below the photo story there, it says, Nigeria may lose 24 councils to UN state. Obasanjo Biya ceded territories in 2003. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian. Now, I also have the Nation newspaper here, and it has a very similar headline. It says, churches, mosques, hotels to open in Lagos from June 19th. Can seeks review of worship time to 90 minutes. Centers to operate at 40% capacity. Kids 65 years and above disallowed. Midweek service vigils banned. Wow, I didn't hear that one before now. Midweek services banned. Okay, vigils banned as well. Face masks, sanitizers to be used. Schools reopening rules coming. Now, there's a reason for all these rules. If you've probably been hiding under a rock, you've probably not heard the numbers of COVID-19 global cases. As of today, it stands at 6,655,384 confirmed cases of COVID-19 globally. And so far, the death toll stands at 390,772 deaths worldwide. Now, in Nigeria, it says here 11,516 confirmed cases, and the death toll stands at 323. Now, there's a picture here, a photo story of the family members of the African-American George Floyd, killed by a policeman, and his family surround his casket during his funeral at Linquist Sanctuary, North Central University in Minnesota in the United States. Just above the masthead there, let me read this one. It says, government targets 5 million jobs with $1.2 billion scheme, 6 assembly plants coming. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation. Now let's see if we can take the Punch newspaper here. The Punch has this headline, federal government threatens to ban church mosque gatherings again. Lagos approves church mosque reopening as of June 19th. And PTF worries over COVID-19 patients fleeing isolation centers. Just at the top here, travel hospitality industry may not recover, Nasima warns. On insecurity, National Assembly summons NSA, service chiefs, IG, DSS boss. Reps propose death sentence, castration, amputation for rapists. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, second Niger Bridge ready 2022, according to Fashola. And moving to the photo story here, scenes of the burial of George Floyd, who was killed by a U.S. policeman during the memorial service in his honor in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And as you can see from the picture there, 2 police officers on the street taking the knee, which has been a symbol of protest all over the world over the past week or so. Robbers raid Kogi Bank, police station, kill cops, passers-by. And I'll wrap with this. It says, police seek information on Barakat's killers. CP visits Uwalia's parents. That's what we have on the cover of The Punch. And I think that's all we have time for on the headlines in the dailies at this point on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be taking them again in the second hour. Make sure you stay tuned. There's still so much more.
So I did an event at the beginning of the year. It's a career planning masterclass. And the theme was, this is not where I'm supposed to be in life. And I did that event because whenever I speak to a lot of younger people, especially, even older people in their 40s or 50s or 30s, about what the cause of their unhappiness or depression is that the response they will give you is that this is not where I'm supposed to be in life. Actually, I have a cousin, I love him so dearly, 17 or 16 or 15 at the time, and I was talking to him about something, he's like, you know, Chudi, I think time is going. Time is going. At 15. Where is time going to? But it's the idea that, you know, you open Instagram or wherever, social, whatever, just in your life, and it looks as if everybody has gotten their lives figured out. And you have not gotten your own life figured out. But here's the deal. One of my pastors, Pastor Tola Sidi, said many years ago, I can never forget, that when you say, this is not where I'm supposed to be in life, when did God show you the map of your life to tell you where exactly you are supposed to be at this moment? I thought that was such a powerful question. It is okay to say, I want to do more, I want to be more, I want to achieve more, I want to push myself more. All of that is great, but this sense of regret for a life that has not even started, it's completely ridiculous. Wherever you are in life at this moment is exactly where you are supposed to be. That's the truth. And so your question for yourself is not to waste your time being sad and depressed over the journey so far. That's foolish. Your job is to say, this is where I'm supposed to be. Instead of saying, this is not where I'm supposed to be in life. What you should be saying is, this is where I am in life. Now, where do I go next? That's the only question that makes sense. That's the only posture that will move your life forward.
Much to think about,
Yeah,
Trude. So much to think about. You give us, sometimes some brain teasers, sometimes like, it's true. And Trude has always had that thing about him. And there's someone else that's always had a thing about him that is making the news. Kanye West.
Kanye, yeah. He's in the entertainment news today from what I saw in the highlights.
Yeah.
Kanye donated $2 million to the Black Lives Matter cause.
To George Floyd's family.
Not just to George Floyd's family.
Okay.
So he donated it to Breonna Taylor, like about 3 of those that have been victims, and then also set up an education fund for George Floyd's daughter, I think 8-year-old or 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive.
Heartwarming. But there was something else that made the news. It was like in the fine print. So a lot of people know that Kanye had, some sort of communication and relationship with Trump. And, Kim, his wife, was let into the White House, and she was trying to defend some people who needed to be released from jail and all that. There was that whole thing that happened. It's Googleable. But then there was someone that tweeted that Kanye doesn't wear the MAGA hats anymore. That's Make America Great Again hats anymore. That he has a whole carton of those hats and he's never wearing them again. And because he said the only reason why he wore them was because that was the only reason why he would be given a meeting with Trump for his wife to be able to get
he said
to do that. Yeah, he said it.
I didn't see that.
He said it. I have a screenshot of it right here.
Oh boy.
And that's crazy. So he said, you know what? Hey, you have to do what you have to do to get to the places where you... So it's like he was playing a long game.
I actually doubt he would say that now,
No,
considering...
it's someone that tweeted about it.
I actually doubt he would say that for 2 reasons. One, because Trump still has 7 months to go as president, during which, of course, his wife is still trying to help many other people out of jail. And there's a likelihood, as crazy and as many people go, that can't happen. But there's a likelihood that Trump will be back.
Yeah, well.
So if you still want to do policy...
No, I'm saying it's not Kanye that said it. It's a very close friend of his.
There will always be close friends who said stuff. There will always be close friends.
In every story, there's always some kind of iota of truth.
Or whatever the case may be. The thing is this, it's just like, it's just life. If Kanye says he likes Trump, he has reasons for liking Trump.
Yeah.
It might not make sense to you, but he has reasons for liking Trump. Now, he might not like Trump as a person or Trump as a president. He just might like some of the values Trump stands for.
True.
Kanye last year, went all gospel and all. And we know quite well that despite Trump's many faults, is known to be an advocate for several Christian ideals, which makes it kind of like, ironic, so to speak. So when you talk about anti-abortion, for example, Trump's government is against it. Yeah. And then you talk about so many other things, which are quite Christian. So maybe that's why he was like, okay, Trump is the man. But that doesn't mean he actually accepts. He has even said it, I don't really like everything Trump does. I have my reservations as well.
I was here yesterday and I mentioned that, ex-President Obama, you know, made a speech, and I said on air yesterday that it felt like the president was speaking. You know, it felt like it didn't. You know, nobody really has to compare or contrast anything. Sometimes things are just very glaring, and the response of the American people as well is also glaring. During the memorial service and everything, pictures, there was even a picture of in the paper today of someone, of police officers kneeling, taking the knee as the procession passed. And I think it's really significant that we take note of how impactful that is. So the police officers themselves were also protesting, you know, what happened, and all around the world, if you go online, you'll see from different countries you would never even imagine people would, you know, support.
Titi, have you seen the photos of the 4 officers that were charged?
So those pictures look like mugshots to me.
Yes, have you seen them?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So it's not a case of a racial thing per se. There's an Asian, there's an African American, and there are 2 white folks. Now, the guy who kneeled on the black guy, on George Floyd, is a white guy. Now, he had 3 officers with him, all of whom have been charged for complicity, being that they didn't do anything to stop him. So, of course, that means that it's not enough for you to just be there. You might say, why is an African American there? Why didn't he stop him? It's because that's actually something that they've been using for years. Of course. The only thing is they usually kneel on the back, not on the neck. Some kneel on the neck and then, you know, they have to like take it off. But this one was just like, he's not going to take it off till the guy died, which was crazy.
It was too extreme. But you know what? Let's move away from all those deep issues.
It's quite gory for the morning.
Deep,
yeah, very gory.
But you know, hey, we had to mention it. But there's something else we need to mention. We have a new music show, a lift-off edition from Max FM. Now, it's a 1-hour music countdown show with the hottest and most played songs collated through rankings in different regions. Now, let's take a look at what this is going to be like.
4, 3, 2,
I'm ready. Are you ready? Skills, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to love you.
countdown. Counting down.
The freshest duo are here to blow your mind.
Yak it to the yak. Yeah, I want you, baby.
The Max World Chart Show with Ewoma and Real Skills.
Countdown.
Counting down the top 10 hits from around the world.
You don't see Dollar Mali.
And with some mad fun in between.
Hit me up.
That was... Shoot, I can see her face. I can see her face.
Saturdays 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. and a repeat on Sunday at 9 p.m. The Max World Chart Show.
Max World Chart Show. I love it.
I have to give a shout out to Mark. Mark is actually responsible for that white background that has the music stuff on it.
Really?
Yes, he actually put that up. Really impressive. And it's so nice to see this on TV. Max, the Countdown Show has actually been like top 3 most listened to for over a year now on radio. It usually airs live between noon and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. So you have it for like over 6 months now. It's been number 2 on the ratings, so it's actually well listened to. So it's like overdue for it to come to TV now.
Or as you said, it's now audio-visual. Now, radio, and I wanted to mention that, you know, radio has really changed. Now, if you're on the radio, you have to put on your makeup, have your camera out, probably go live on Instagram. You know, everybody's trying to stay interconnected, and this is a great way for you to be connected with the top, is it top 10?
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10
it's just like
songs every week.
No, they're actually more than top 10. Like they usually start from 20 songs.
Top 20.
So 20, 19, 18, 17 down to 1. Then they usually take a look at songs from other regions, like the top trending Spanish song, the top trend, so like from different angles like that. Now, one thing I really like about the show is how original it is. Like, you know, you actually give stuff about artists. And when I talk about originality, I'm not talking about you going to, say, Billboard to check out what artists are trending, but actually taking a look at the numbers as they are to make up. It's a lot of work, believe me, a lot of work.
Yeah, so because of all the platforms, streaming platforms that exist now, we can't really think of the top 100 as just the ones being played on radio anymore. Now it has to do with the Spotifys, the iTunes, and all that.
Even YouTube. You'll be stunned that
views.
some of the songs that we probably listen to once and you go, oh, what are they singing? They're actually doing great on YouTube. They are having 2 billion views. And you're like, wow.
You want to check out what K-pop is, if you've never heard of K-pop.
Oh, no, but let's not talk about K-pop because we know that K-pop in Asia, Asia can make up the world ×3. So
the numbers.
You can imagine.
If you want to sell a product, you know, in
Conquer
Asia,
the Asian market.
Just go into K-pop and find a K-pop artist. It's Korean pop, right?
Yeah,
Korean
they idolize their celebrities there.
It's amazing.
So if you can get a celebrity to stand for you with a product, like even if it's just one word, you just say, Kareem, I want to buy that cream. I want to buy that cream. And they go all crazy for it. And that's why if you notice, even foreign artists, their aim is to conquer the Asian markets because that is where the money is. There's the numbers as well. So the moment you can get them to view your stuff, you're good to go.
There's also something else about the Asians that many people might not have thought about. You know, they say that some of the world's, the country with the most billionaires, I believe, is China. Just imagine that. The world's youngest billionaires, the most billionaires. So those are the people that are paying.
And Titi, do you know that is possible in Nigeria?
More than possible.
Because what China does is basically what the, in quotes, Abba boys do. But we don't support our own. We say there's a lot of fake stuff they're making, but we import a lot of fake stuff from China as well. So why not support our industry so they can actually get better at what they do?
Honestly speaking, I have to agree with you on that. And if anything has been shown during this lockdown, it's how resilient we are as a country without the outside world.
Thank God for close borders. I don't know how I would have coped. Is it the rice? Is it the chicken? Is it the turkeys? Oh, God.
People really did get to sell a lot of products during the lockdown.
Especially farmers.
But farming is still a very, very important sector.
Yeah, it is. Great way to invest now. All right, I guess that's about it for now. We'll definitely be back. We just need to take this short break. Stay with us.
Hello and good morning. Once again, it's always an exciting time right here on your favorite breakfast show. So stand by. We have a potpourri of excitement for you. And the variety, we say, is the word we go by. That's exactly what we have lined up for you today. Just make sure you stay right there to enjoy every bit of it. We know that these are tough times, but you know what they say, tough times never last. Only tough people do. Yeah. How tough are you? It's been tough, but we're still here. Remember, protect yourself, protect me. If I protect myself, I'm protecting you as well. So even as activities begin to pick up where we're going about earning our living, remember, observe social, or should they call it physical distancing now. Make sure you wash your hands as often as possible. Don't forget the back and don't forget your thumbs. You need to stay safe. My name is Titi Layo. And don't forget, you can stream this show live if you have to move around, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect. The TVC app remains available for download free of charge for both Android and iOS, and it allows you to watch us from anywhere you're going in the world. You can see us right there on your mobile device. Mary has been standing by in the kitchen, and as always, she has a smile on her face. Mary, hi. It's so good to see you.
It's always good to be here. It's always good to be here. And it's the second hour, so we're excited. We still have an hour, 45 minutes left to go.
Yes, sir.
Titi, continue.
There's work, there's work. We have to get things going.
Yes, so we have loads of stuff to do.
Yeah, it feels really good as well that sporting activities are coming back. yes, the guys are gonna, you know, give us some breathing space. You know, they can go and watch their sports. The latest developments in the sporting world, especially the world of football across different leagues. We're gonna be talking about that a bit later today. Then we'll have Chef Belinda with something mouth-watering for us, as always. And you know we love to hear from you. We love to feel your pulse. Now, if you haven't tweeted already, you haven't gone online to tell us what plans you have for this Friday, please go online right now. There's something that's going to be happening on Wake Up Nigeria very soon. We're going to have some amazing giveaways begin very, very soon. And I know of a particular gift that is really special, and it's going to be going out to some very loyal viewer of Wake Up Nigeria. Also, the recent happenings in the world of entertainment are going to be talked about very, very soon. And as you can see, Davydov is in the news. You want to find out why? You agree it's kind of hard to keep up sometimes. So that's why we have the entertainment news roundup coming your way soon. And finally, we're going to be joined via Zoom by a talented actor and movie producer, Ujam Sibril, known for his role in Loud Silence and Stolen Heart. You need to stay around for that one.
Because it is only with discipline that we can turn you untrained, lazy villagers.
Village teacher. You know, you're talking about Davydov. Peruzzi actually is the main.
Oh, okay.
You know why Peruzzi was trending earlier, right?
I haven't checked it out yet.
Titi.
I haven't checked it out. I just knew it was trending.
You know, rape has been trending for like all week long.
No.
Different stories of rape. Like yesterday, there was a Solomon guy trending where some guy said he abused them, like, you know, he assaulted them as well. Some said he raped them. I'm talking about like guy-to-guy, the homosexual thing.
I understand.
And then this Peruzzi one had to do with people digging his old tweets. So what caused it? A lady made a tweet and she was talking about how he allegedly raped her back in 2012.
Okay.
And he denied it, said even the person that he mentioned denied it, said she doesn't even know her. Of which there's a possibility they're falling out. So that's actually, one would never know the real story. But the thing is this, some people now took the time to dig into his tweets as far back as 2011.
Wow.
And let's just say that Peruzzi's middle name then was Peruzzi. Rape. I'm not kidding.
No, are you
he tweeted, "I'm a rapist."
I'm a rapist.
Rapist.
Now rap. You start now.
No, there was no double P. We went to school.
Rap.
1, 2. I'm not kidding.
Are you kidding me?
There was this tweet somebody made that if you could, it now made me scared. Was it that I missed it in 2011, 2012?
Are you sure it was not rap artist?
Titi, will you stop? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, no.
Wow.
I'm not kidding, because it wasn't one. He mentioned rape. If this girl no agree for you, rape him. If I won't take him out, I'm not going to rape him.
Oh, you know
so
what?
he now made a statement, which is probably what is in the news now, that he was young and stupid then. He didn't really mean it. He has never raped anybody. And so everybody's like giving him side eye, like, are you sure what you're saying?
Wow.
So sometimes you need to be very careful.
Goodness me, as far back as 2011?
2011, 2012.
You have to be careful what you put on the internet. The internet never forgets.
All right, over to you, the news update.
Yes, indeed. It's almost time for that, but I'm trying to just gather my, my thoughts.
Maybe you should have seen this stuff. I wish I had even saved
unbelievable
the screenshots. I learned he has gone back to delete them. He deleted them before apologizing. But these things are already out there.
Yeah.
You should not say things that you don't mean. And that's the thing with many young people today. They don't realize the gravity of some of the statements that they make. They don't know how deep it is and how much trouble they could get into. They don't realize it.
Goodness. I was even trying to say, goodness me.
Fact.
Okay, so let's take the news update at this point. Now, for residents of Lagos State, the long wait for places of worship to reopen may just be coming to an end. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has directed that mosques should reopen from 19th of June, while churches should open their doors 2 days after, on the 21st. One of the conditions is that the crowd should not be more than 40% of the capacity of the church. It's more than 10 weeks that religious houses were shut as a measure to break the chain of transmission of COVID-19 in Lagos State. As Lagos reached its second phase of easing lockdown, Governor Sanwo-Olu says it's time for the faithful to gather at their places of worship, but with moderation. The governor said schools remain closed and the holiday is also over for civil servants of level 13 and 14. Non-essential interstate travel is still prohibited. The Nasarawa state government has lifted its ban on commercial motorcycles and markets in the state. The government had placed a ban on the movement of commercial motorcycles and had shut down markets in the state as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. State Commissioner for Health, who disclosed this at the end of an expanded Executive Council meeting in Lafia, says motorcycles are only allowed to carry one passenger per trip. The government also gave a nod to religious organizations to resume activities at their places of worship. Religious organizations were also urged to ensure strict compliance with the guidelines of the federal government.
In the general note of the council transitions, they are about the lift of ban on the motorcycle preventive measures have to be observed, where you may have to carry one passenger with a compulsory face mask of a view that has come to be. We also resolved in the council that the adoption of the curfew from the national will take in queue from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning. The border restrictions of entry from the states in all our sundries will also be maintained.
Number of persons arrested, 1,924. Number of persons charged to court, 1,879. Number of motorcycles impounded, 1,451. Number of vehicles impounded, 86. Numbers of tricycles impounded, 202.
Nigerians working, or rather seeking working visa to Lebanon may have to wait for longer. This is because the Lebanese ambassador to Nigeria, Hussam Diab, says the embassy has suspended issuing working visas to Nigerians seeking to work in Lebanon, particularly for domestic workers. The decision is coming at a time some Nigerians working in Lebanon have complained of maltreatment. The ambassador told the visiting chairman of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, in his Abuja office that the mission suspended the issuance from May 1st.
One of the issues that we have done is that to stop all these helpers from getting to Lebanon without and being abused by their agencies or by the employers. We stopped all the work visas for Nigerian helpers. Now what we need to do is the second step is to get an agreement with the Ministry of Labor, Nigerian Ministry of Labor.
I'm also glad about a major decision taken by Lebanon, which is as well as stop visas for workers. Because until you properly have agencies that will be documented with the Ministry of Labor, so that if you're going to work, you know you're going to work properly. So we're talking about managed migration. If you're going to work, you're going to work there properly, legally.
And that's it on the news updates for this hour. You need to stay tuned for more after this quick break.
5-minute worker section, and like I always say, make sure you stretch before joining me, and it's gonna be a great time. You don't want to just miss out the moments. So we're gonna just go straight to the point. 5 minutes, let it count on you. Alright, on myself as well. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Now we go. This one, here we go. That's it. Match, match, and match. That's it. it. One more. Now put Kenny in the head. Roll it. Now Kenny in the hair. Take it down. That's it. There we go. Hold the hand. Roll it out. Now bring it to the head. Take it down. And bring it out. Now go in here and roll it out again. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Try to run it harder. That's it. That's it. One more time. There we go. Run it up. Here we go. Enter. Now go again. Shake it back. That's it. Shake. And shake. And shake. And shake. And shake. Now go with your upper body. That's it. And back. With your head back. One more time. Now we're jumping in the pitches. Come on. That's it. Up. Shake it up. Up. That's it. Up. There we go. Pick it up. Pick it up. We get better. That's it. Let's go. One more. Go with it and go there. And put it. And put it. And put it. And put it. That's it. Just make sure you keep breathing. Now let me get higher. And up. 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 And we go my zone two. And up. And up. And up. And up. And up. And up. Now bring it forward. Forward. And forward. And forward. Take it back. And back. And back. And back. Here we go again. Good. And shake. And shake. And shake. And shake. Make sure you shake it. Now with your upper body. Shake it. And back it. Back it. And back it. Now go forward like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go bring it on higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and good. And good.
Hello everyone, Chef Belinda here. Today we are going to make a very simple and quick recipe once again, and we have everything you have here is what you can get from the comfort of your homes, in your pantry, nearby. So they are very simple recipes. Today we are making fish in stir-fry pasta. Fish. So let me quickly run through the recipes. We have our pasta, spaghetti actually. We have our fish. This fish has been marinated already. I marinated with ginger, garlic, little powdered ginger, garlic. Then we have salt, Maggi. That's all. Then we have our vegetables: carrots, bell peppers, green and red, onions, spring onions, cabbage. Then this is a mashed tomato and pepper. I just mashed them together to have a paste, a kind of rough paste. Then we have our soy sauce and oyster sauce. I mix this up with water so it will be more. Then we have our salt, seasoning, minced ginger and garlic. These are recipe for the day. So then of course we have our vegetable oil. So we'll start now by putting this into the water. I have already boiling water here. In this water I have salt and vegetable oil. So we'll put our pasta right away. I actually don't like breaking my pasta. I just let them go in. As it's dissolving into the water, it's melting in and everything will sink inside. Never mind. You don't need to turn. Just let it sink into it. That's our pasta. You leave that for a while for it to boil, then you sieve off. As you can see, our pasta has sunk into the water and is boiling already. So you just make sure it's with the oil in it, it will not stick. So just make sure you stir a little bit. When we have our pasta boiling, we need to stir fry our vegetables in the wok. So that will boil for 10 minutes and we sieve off. While we are on that, we start with our oil. Once your oil is hot, start with the ginger and garlic. Fry the fish. Okay, our fish is frying. Then I actually use the hake fish, but you can use any fish, any kind of fish you have, any kind of fish you can get to buy. But this is the hake fish, some call it manla, but this is hake fish. I like it, that's why I'm using this. Our fish is done for frying. I need to take them off the fire. To saute the vegetables now, we're still making use of the same wok pan. Add your crushed ginger and garlic, then some crushed tomato and pepper. Now we add the rest of the vegetables, starting with the onions. I love this work. The work is giving me please don't do this at home. You can use your spoon to put the sauce in it and just enjoy it together. We add our sauce, soy and oyster sauce. You allow this to simmer for like 3 minutes. And you add the remaining vegetable. Alright, we have our food set, our yummy fish in stir-fry pasta. This is actually yummy. You can see it's an easy recipe that you can make from the comfort of your home with things you can find in your pantry. You have pasta in your house and just make something nice and your family will love it. They will enjoy with you. Please stay safe while you stay with yourself, with your friends and your loved ones. From here, it's a bye.
Yeah.
far. We are loving it already.
Ah, goodness me.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping my microphone is not picking the sound of my
It
rumbling
is. I heard
stomach.
it. There's a rumble in your tummy going.
Just stop,
boom, boom,
stop,
boom, boom,
just
boom.
stop.
It means you are hungry.
So right now, Chef Belinda has succeeded in making me really, really hungry right now.
You were hungry before, and now you're hungrier.
Yeah, I
no
can
thanks
actually
to her.
hear it.
You know,
I'm
this
gonna need some water soon.
segment has now made it like we actually feel the pain of our viewers.
Yeah.
Back when we used to get breakfast, and you
Every
guys would just
day.
be like, send some to us. So now we are the ones looking at the TV and going, send
Where's
some
the
to
food?
us.
We can't wait to open our kitchen up again. It's going to be great for the chefs to come back. You know, there's quite a lot that's been happening on social media. And if you go online, you probably realize that the Big Brother housemates from last year's Big Brother, Paved, have been trending all over again. And people are probably wondering what on earth is going on. So apparently there's a reunion show that happens quite late at night. And the fan bases of all the housemates are, you know, they're up and running again. And they're doing a lot of tweeting on so many issues. In my mind, I'm like, wait, there's Black Lives Matter. There's, you know, justice for UA. There's so many other things happening. Coronavirus is still happening. And people still want to talk about
entertainment stuff.
These
Big Brothers.
housemates. And it is significant. And obviously, it's a social experiment. And it just shows what a certain sector of society thinks about their peers. In a place for a certain number of days. But then with this reunion, what has come up, there has been a lot of cyberbullying happening online. I wanted to touch on that. So obviously, when it comes to supporting someone on TV, you know, you want to say supportive things and, of course, shut down people that say negative things. Fine. But then there have been some trolls, and I use the word trolls definitively because, you know, it's like people just searching out who's going to say something good about someone else that they don't like. And I just wanted to mention that, see, this thing was supposed to be for entertainment now. Everybody just needs to calm down. What is the hullabaloo really about? Now, if you want to talk about something that's really important, something that is about social change, let's talk a little bit about the Black Lives Matter hashtag that's been trending for over a week now.
Cyberbullying has actually featured in the Black Lives Matter. As a matter of fact, the girl who recorded it, a 17-year-old girl, has been bullied by many people. She's even had to seek mental health checks because people are saying, why did you record it? You didn't do anything, you just recorded it. But recording it was actually a lot. But she's getting a lot of bullying. And so cyberbullying has gone beyond even us just talking about it. It's also affecting young people. So many people committing suicide because of what people say about them. And this brings us to the need to build your mental strength. It is possible. Everybody is capable of being mentally strong. You just need to work at it. It's like doing exercises. You keep working at it.
We have to wrap it up right now, but we'll be back with more. Wake Up Nigeria is still here with you. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now it's time for the last 45 minutes of your #1 breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilaya Onison. And hey, you need to remember to wash your hands regularly. Also sanitize your environment and your hands. And of course, maintain a social, physical distance from people around you if you have to be out and about. Also, don't forget to take your face mask with you. You're probably about to go out the door right now. Wait, stop, go back. Get your face mask right now. You need to make sure you stay in touch with us and stay watching the show if you need to move around. And you have our website to help you with that, tvcentertainment.tv, and of course, Facebook at TVC Connect. You can also send in your comments and contributions. We'd love to hear from you. Kindly use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Coming up shortly, we have an update on what's been happening in the world of entertainment this week, and I know that should interest you. And then finally, joining us for a chat a bit after that is talented actor and movie producer Ujams Sibia.
But to think that that my wife...
Man, each time I hear that line, I just go...
You were checking some things out online. You said there's supposed to be an
Yes, there's
eclipse?
supposed to be a lunar eclipse today, today being the 5th of June. It's going to happen in Nigeria, in Maiduguri.
It'll be seen.
Yeah, it's going to be seen in Maiduguri.
So-
And then on the 20th is summer solstice. So that's when we'll have a longer day. So if everywhere is still bright at 7:30 or 8, you just know it's because of the summer solstice. And then, of course, there's going to be a partial solar eclipse in Nigeria on the 21st. So we should look out for that.
You know, some people have all these like superstitions around when those eclipses happen. They feel like things happen that time, and some people feel like it's linked to good luck, or even the other, the opposite. But I don't know. Whenever I hear about those eclipses, I just, it makes me think of how wonderful God is, and how amazing it is to actually be able to see something like that.
Which brings me to something. Today is World Environment Day. So that's actually currently trending. And also currently trending as well is George Floyd's funeral. It was in the papers this morning. We mentioned it as well. So that's part of what's trending. That's what actually brought up hashtag Black Lives Matter, as well as hashtag All Lives Matter. Because at the end of the day, everybody counts. We're all important in one way or the other.
And, it did feel like a very significant time in history. The fact that everybody rallied behind this. There was a particular video I saw on Twitter of a young Caucasian guy he's an influencer online, and he kept talking about the fact that he himself he felt like he had been in denial of how important it was to stand up. And this was the first time he actually saw it with his eyes, that this thing people have been talking about, this negativity against black men, had gotten to a point where he couldn't ignore it anymore.
But I don't get it. So, we Africans are wonderful people, like not just wonderful folks. We're also we're human. It doesn't make any sense.
That's the
funeral
gathering at the North Central University in Minneapolis in the U.S. during the memorial service. And, it's obviously an emotional time. And I think this is one of the first public memorials since COVID-19 happened. And everyone is still masked up, as you can see. The family members there being greeted and
even the protesters as well, they've been masking up. And so there's also the fear of the danger of actually going out to protest. But people are like, we would rather go out and let the world hear us than sit back and then do nothing. Wow.
That line, I can't breathe, that line has been tweeted and posted so many times. And
and it hasn't stopped there. No, there have been photos of some police officers that still did the same thing afterwards. In fact, there was one photo of a police officer that his colleague had to raise his knee from another person's neck, one of the protesters. Yes, we know this is something you guys do to, curtail people, but my gosh.
Wow. Okay, it's about time for us to take the news update at this point. And for residents of Lagos State, the long wait for places of worship to reopen may just be coming to an end. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has directed that mosques should reopen from 19th of June, while churches should open their doors 2 days after, on the 21st. One of the conditions is that the crowd should not be more than 40% of the capacity of the church. It is more than 10 weeks that religious houses were shut as a measure to break the chain of transmission of COVID-19 in Lagos State. As Lagos reached its second phase of easing lockdown, Governor Sanwo-Olu says it's time for the faithful to gather at their places of worship, but with moderation. The governor said schools remain closed. The holiday is also over for civil servants of levels 13 and 14. Non-essential interstate travel is still prohibited. The World Health Organization is resuming its trial of hydroxychloroquine after a temporary suspension of the trial for purported safety concerns. WHO's Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus at a news conference in Geneva said that the Data Safety Monitoring Board decided there was no reason to discontinue the international trial after reviewing available data on the drug. Last week, WHO announced suspension of the trial of the drug, popular for the treatment of malaria, after a medical journal published that hospitalized COVID-19 patients treated with hydroxychloroquine had a higher risk of death than those who didn't take it. Numerous clinical trials are looking to see if it's effective in fighting COVID-19, but it's not yet a proven treatment. Nigerians seeking working visa to Lebanon may have to wait for longer. This is because the Lebanese ambassador to Nigeria, Hussam Diab, says the embassy has suspended issuing visas to Nigerians seeking to work in Lebanon, particularly for domestic workers. The decision is coming at a time some Nigerians working in Lebanon have complained of maltreatment. The ambassador told the visiting chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, in his Abuja office, that the mission suspended the issuance from May 1st.
One of the issues that we have done is that to stop all these helpers from getting to Lebanon without and being abused by their agencies or by the employers. We stopped all the work visas for Nigerian helpers. Now what we need to do is the second step is to get an agreement with the Ministry of Labor, Nigerian Ministry of Labor.
I'm also glad about a major decision taken by Lebanon, which is as well as stop visas for workers. Because until you properly have agencies that will be documented with the Ministry of Labor, so that if you're going to work, you know you're going to work properly. So we're talking about managed migration. If you're going to work, you're going to work there properly, legally.
And that's it for the news update for today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Now it's time for entertainment news roundup on Wake Up Nigeria. And we begin today with Majek Fashek's cause of death being revealed. Now, as music lovers continue to sympathize with the family of the music icon, Majek Fashek, who passed on recently, his managers revealed the cause of his death. Uzoma Omenka, in a phone call conversation with TVCE, stated that Majek Fashek died as a result of cancer, which he had been battling with for over a year. He further stated that the music icon died in New York as he was moved from London, where he was initially receiving treatment so that he could be closer to his wife and 3 sons. According to Uzoma Omenka, Majek Fashek, who turned 57 in March, had been separated from his family for over 10 years until late last year when he was reunited with them based on his doctor's advice. May the soul of the music icon continue to rest in peace. Now, moving on, we talk about Idris Abdulkareem advising Burna Boy. Now, the Nigerian veteran rapper has called out Burna Boy, saying he doesn't deserve the Odogu title he calls himself. According to the rapper, Davydov should be the one given the Odogu title based on his philanthropic acts. Now, just so you know, this is not the first time Idris Abdulkareem has called out Burna Boy, as he did so earlier this year when he stated that Burna Boy should apologize for saying nobody paved the way for him. You definitely recall that one. It was really massive. It trended for quite a while too. And from there, we move to Davydov. As it is, Davydov is in a self-cleansing mood. Yeah, the Nigerian superstar is in a self-cleansing state as he plans to focus more on himself instead of those around him. Now, he made this known via his Instagram page, where he shared a post with the caption, "Please understand, see you when I drop ABT." He wrote, "If you can't reach me, don't reach me. I'll contact you. All my life, I've put people before me. I think it's time to actually live my life and take care of myself. I have changed my number. I need some cleansing to do. Love y'all. And this raises speculations as to who is cut off or who is trying to cut off, especially for talking about something we might be able to talk about in the course of the entertainment news roundup today. Now, this new move by Davydov seems to have already started as he has unfollowed his artist, Peruzzi, who has been accused of raping a lady amidst a series of implicating old tweets where he called himself a rapist amongst other rape tweets. You might want to check that out on social media. It trended for quite a bit about 2 days ago. Okay, from there we move to Kim Kardashian and Kanye West threatening to sue their former bodyguard. And now Kim Kardashian and Kanye have threatened their former bodyguard, Steve Stanulis, with a cease and desist letter. According to the letter, the couple is planning to sue him if he continues making statements about them in the media. This is, however, coming after it was stated that Steve Stanulis broke a confidentiality agreement he signed with the couple after he made a series of statements in a podcast saying Kanye had a meltdown on the first day he started working for him, and Kanye was one of his least favorite people to work with over the course of time. The former bodyguard in the podcast also claimed that the rapper made him stand yards away from him while protecting him. According to sources, Kim and Kanye West fired Steve Stanulis in 2016 after he signed an agreement in February 2016 that prohibited him from speaking about any personal or business-related information about them. Just so you know, Kanye West had already warned the former bodyguard in 2016 to avoid talking about him or his family. Now, what Steve Stanulis is claiming is that, okay, so I'm guarding you, I'm your bodyguard, but you tell me to stay about 10 paces behind you or, you know, in front of you, just not too close to you. And then he actually described an incident that happened between himself and Kanye West, where he says it was his first day on the job. He was just resuming, and he got into an elevator with Kanye West. He didn't know anything about the job. Note, when you're getting a new job, you need to know everything about your boss. But, you know, people will always build sentiment. So they were there in the elevator, and the next thing, Kanye is expecting him to press the floor they are going on, and the guy goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And according to how he described the incident, it does seem like it was a teeny tiny bit rude, because you don't tell your new boss, you need to decide, is either you tell me what number to press, or you press it yourself, or we stay here for the rest of the day. Like, who does that? We're talking about the person paying your salary, you know? But anyway.
Welcome back. Now we've been joined via Zoom by a very talented actor, movie producer, and so much more. His name is Ujam Sibrel, and he's well known for his role in Loud Silence and Stolen Heart, as well as many other really big projects.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he'll be sharing the projects he's currently working on and the impact the lockdown has had on him as a filmmaker. Hello, Jamsi. How are you doing today?
I am doing awesome. Thank you for having me.
It's our absolute pleasure. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So what has it been like for you lockdown-wise? Everyone has their lockdown chronicles. So far, so good. What has it been like for you?
Well, lockdown is not like the experience we've had before. So it's not good. Yes, especially for my job, because relatively we work with nothing less than 20, 25 people on set, and this fight is against crowd and gathering, and we can't be on set during the lockdown. So generally, it has not been good. We're trying to stay safe, but at the end of the day, we are singing the victory song if you are alive, because that is what matters.
So I'm wondering, a lot of actors, in fact, entertainers have said that the lockdown has inspired them to do some different things while they're at home. So what exactly have you been inspired to do during the lockdown?
Yes, I hate writing and I love reading, but specific theories and books and topics. So the lockdown has helped me to expand my reading and to also find my quarrel with writing. So I've been able to write a lot of stories, develop a lot of concepts within this lockdown period. And then finally, I've been dragged to TikTok. I'm sorry, I have to mention the name.
You're one of them. You're one of those TikTok gurus.
No. I just started yesterday. Funny.
Just yesterday. Don't worry, you're late to the party, but better late than never.
Yes. All thanks to Nazo Okezie.
All right. Okay, nice. You know quite well that you have the nursing certificates now. During this period of the lockdown, has it ever occurred to you that perhaps I should just dust my certificate and go and take up a nursing job? It's like these people still have full-time stuff they're doing. Or you're completely content being the actor that, and of course, film producer that you are.
Oh, well, I won't lie. This period kind of made me think. I was actually thinking, am I in the wrong profession? I was like, no way. But then it made me realize that, yes, having abandoned nursing for acting, it means so much more for me. And then people at home being entertained by the work of art, while even the nurses, because I had some nurse friends in London call me like, okay, we're watching your film. It helps us to come and out after the end of the day job. So I feel like I'm still part of the whole big picture. I feel like I'm not in the wrong profession. And from time to time, I offer off-service health tips. So it still all works together. So no regret.
All right. So there are quite a lot of people who started big projects before the lockdown started, and the projects were really badly affected by the lockdown. I have a feeling you're probably one of those people. Well, tell us a bit about the project and how you were able to, work through it.
Yes, we were filming a project, Sanitation Day, directed by Tokwe. This is the director for. Oh my God, why am I forgetting? Okay, the project is for Film 1, and the name of the project is Sanitation Day, starring the likes of myself, Nse Etim, Chelsea Noje, and Belinda Ifa, and a host of other talented actors, Tony Bakari, and a whole lot. So it was just like 3 days more shoot before the lockdown started, and then that project have been on hold since then. And the release date was supposed to be this June 21st. So, but the project was suspended, and we're hoping to resume on Sunday again. With all necessary precaution, of course, while gathering the film. But of course, lesser crew this time, so not to gather too many crowds.
Now, Ujams, it's June already, half year. 2020, the great 2020, still has 6 more months before the year ends. So what's your projection for the year? What are your expectations?
Well, I think being alive, I still think this year is a great year for me. Like I said, no regrets. It's one thing to think, okay, I should have done this, I should have done that. And it's another thing to look at it and say, hey, I'm alive, I'm still healthy, I'm still well, I can do things. So the year is already great for me. I know that a whole lot of other people, like the telecommunications network, the TV stations, they've made a lot of progress because they have been able to, function more and make more meaning to people while at home. So I think it's been great year for some, and it's been terrible year for some, especially those who have lost their loved ones to this deadly pandemic, coronavirus. And my condolences to all of them. So for me, generally, I think as a people, we are winning. Yes.
Okay.
That's great.
Yes, we are. Great. I wanted to mention earlier, I don't know if we have enough time to talk about it, on your profile on Instagram, entrepreneur is also there. And I wanted to ask a little bit about why entrepreneur is also tagged on your profile. So what exactly is that area of your life about?
Well, I haven't said this on any interview, but I love agriculture. I love farming. I've been able to sponsor some little farming projects here and there, and I've been part of great projects over there in Kaduna. The name of the project is Fadama. It's meant to be a nationwide project, but I think they're taking it gradual, where they create a platform for people to invest in a certain number of plots, and then after investing, then you leave all the work for them. Then once the farming season is over, they'll calculate your harvest and give you back your money. And sometimes your money comes back in 50 folds.
Wow.
Or above, depending on how your harvest
investment works out.
People are thinking.
Wow.
People are
it's
thinking.
a beautiful concept, and I think more than ever, we have come to realize how important it is to farm, because farming, I think, can never be overemphasized. I don't know why all of us are leaving farming for all the tech businesses and all the sometimes the legal businesses, but
it's easy to tell you're very passionate about farming. So farmer nurse turned farmer, actor, film producer. We wonder what will be next under your belt. But all the same, we thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking time out to have a conversation with us on Wake Up Nigeria.
Thanks, Ujams.
Have a great weekend. All right, and with that, it's a wrap on the show today.
Yeah, there's so much you never know unless you just ask.
Yeah.
You know, lots of people are doing great things, and you should be too. Activate your greatness, people. Wake Up Nigeria is going to be back on Monday morning.
Bright and early. Be sure to join us 6 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. as usual. Have a fantastic weekend.
Bye.